Welcome to The Hidden Gift. Have you ever had the feeling of not being on the right path, of not following your soul-burning desires? Do you feel you have to accept society's rules and regulations without having a chance to say what you really think about it? Or do you get the feeling that even if you do say what you feel, you don't really get heard? Nobody seems to listen anyway. If you have been or indeed still are in these circumstances, you vibrate at what I call a low-based emotional frequency, one that I identified in myself as a persistent and painful feeling. It came from what at the beginning of my spiritual path I recognized as my low self-esteem, and I translate it into I don't count, I am a nobody. But let's continue asking ourselves pertinent questions. Do you feel that you go against the flow, working really hard, but no matter how much you apply yourself, you don't seem to move in any consistent direction? And if all of these questions are true for you, would you like to know the secret of happiness? The secret to happiness is to understand that life flows and that we need to align with it. Imagine that you are grounded and balanced. This would produce a feeling of being centered, of living in harmony. Being centered means that our energy flows steadily from our core, and living in harmony means that we do not need to overcompensate for a perceived lack, or loss, or trauma, that we live our life from a healed point of self. As a result of this, we are able to function efficiently in life. Because living in harmony demonstrates balance, and balance requires that our energy flows unimpeded through our well-connected and well-aligned physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies, our matrix. Being connected and aligned produces the feeling of being able to observe the world from a neutral point of view, from a detached perspective. When our energy is well anchored into the earth, running in a safe and sustainable manner, we are able to create lives of our own design. With a focus on ourselves and not on other people's lives, we learn to mind our own business, and we are able to shape our future with grace and elegance. Others on the path of personal evolution pick up our frequencies and realize that we are teachers. Although in fact, all of us are both teachers and students. Understanding our place in the larger scheme of things, we learn to walk together for the benefit of all, aligned with the intelligence of the universe, a universe that orchestrates with perfect synchronicity the potentials and sacred contracts of each person in the planet, as well as our relationship with the other beings in the natural world. When we indulge ourselves in the dream of what would it be like if, but we don't feel good when we visualize this future, is an indication that we need to grow further. This resistance feels as swimming against the river, and it refers to a life strategy which doesn't really serve us, because we tend to go around and around in circles, locked in a karmic wheel. As our efforts don't appear to bring us the results that we want, somehow we feel that we are wasting our time and energy at some level. Time and energy are precious resources to us, belong to our present moment. But by now, I am sure that you are already familiar with the concept that the present is perfect. If this is so, we know at an intuitive level that every single life experience translates into a necessary lesson. Knowing this, some of us decide to embark in the adventure of conscious growth, truly the adventure of a lifetime. As we decide to tackle our limited beliefs and negative thought forms, we start the process of integrating our shadow, which is an attempt to include the subconscious part of our personality that we don't recognize as our own. And the reason why there is a gap between where we are and where we want to be, it's because we are dreaming from a point of lack, from a trauma or from a constraint, from a limited belief. Hence, the dream never feels good when we actually visualize it, let alone if we actually get it. Because the path to the dream is almost the dream itself. For as we develop processes and succeed in achieving each one of the small steps that lead us towards this dream, achieving the dream becomes expected, almost like a logical outcome. So, the secret is to make each little step into an objective in its own right. A small gain, a small success, a target that can be reached, a goal that can be accomplished. When we learn these secrets, we create a path that feels good one step at a time. A wholesome path that reflects us as each given moment, and one that mirrors to us each stage in our development. So, the process thus becomes to continue to adjust, align, redirect where we are going based on who we are at each given moment. So often we reject ourselves because we think that we are faulty. This comes from trying to get to our dream and we lose hope and faith on the way to achieve it. Most people quit. They lie to themselves saying they can't get there, it was foolish, a mistake, an illusion, a mirage. However, our soul never lies. These glimpses of our highest potential are real indeed. Being born on this earth is never a mistake. The universe does not make a mistake. However, when we live a life in which we apply our logic excessively, even almost exclusively, and in detriment of our creativity, that part of us which engages the higher universal wisdom, then we find ourselves living like a very small person with a very big dream. Bit by bit, we bury our beautiful shining center under layers of confusion. We instill controlling mechanisms to keep our inner child in check. And we resort to controlling instead of cooperating with the universal wisdom. Before we know, not only do we lose the innocence of the child we were, but we also become overly serious about the way our life unfolds. Our final conclusion is that life is hard and that we need to struggle to get everything we want. But dreaming is not only for fools. When we lock ourselves in like this, it is very difficult to find the right direction in life because we can't even hear our inner voice, our intuition. This comes from our creative center and needs to flow freely for us to be able to visualize and create our imagined destiny. Sadly, the word imagination, which is an image in action, disappears from our vocabulary. We can't construct our external world from the outside in. It goes against all the natural and universal laws. We need to engage our subconscious self and create our world from the inside out. But this can only take place when we contribute to the larger picture from a point of self-love and self-acceptance, working with the universal laws of attraction and manifestation in order to effortlessly shape our future. And as we shape our future, we shape ourselves. We clarify our strengths and define who we were all along. Alternatively, when we don't follow this approach, we feel overwhelmed, frustrated, with the sentiment of plodding along instead of flowing effortlessly with life, which is right the opposite of engaging our highest potential, our brightest self, in order to achieve something important and meaningful in life. So, in the following pages, if you are reading the book, or in the following videos, if you are watching the program, I will help you break this vicious circle of attempting to create your destiny by force. And instead, you will learn to flow with your original blueprint or life mission and shine in all your splendor as you do so. The steps that we are going to follow are: number 1, unconditional love for the self. Number 2, following your dreams. Number 3, self-confidence versus self-acceptance. Number 4, facing your fears. Number 5, carrying out the changes. And number 6, putting it down to action. This book, workshop, or course in personal development includes meditations and exercises. I have given you space to write your notes as you practice. But perhaps you would prefer to open up or create a new journal just for this stage of your development and write your thoughts and experiences so that you can download all the information that is in your mind or that you receive as you do the exercises, and this will allow you to see where you are from a detached point of view. What changes you need to make and what you really want to start materializing in your life. You may write an email to me or contact me through any of my social media links at the end of the course or at the end of the book. They are available. My YouTube channel, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Amazon, Udemy course, Twitter, or even my website. If you feel that you need to contact me for any reason, I would love to receive your commentaries, suggestions, and your favorite subjects of discussion. Until then, keep watch.